Welcome to the CL Brown Show. I am your host, CL Brown, columnist with the Louisville Courier-Journal. On this episode of the show, I am taping live on location in Charlotte at the ACC Kickoff. In this episode, we will feature the University of Louisville's football team. Head coach Jeff Brohm will start it off. Also have an interview with new quarterback Miller Moss, a transfer from USC, and wide receiver Chris Bell. Coming right up on the show. Now I'd like to welcome to the show the head coach of the University of Louisville, Jeff Brohm. Jeff, thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir.
So ACC Media Day, we've been hit over the head with this is the conference of quarterbacks this year. What makes you think Miller Moss can be one of the best?
Well, I have no question that he can perform at a high level for us. I think he's a veteran quarterback. He's played a lot of football to this date. He's battle-tested. He's had some good moments, some other moments that maybe he'd like to have back. He understands the importance of putting the work in, and he knows that really he's got 1 year to prove himself, and he wants to come in here and help his teammates win football games and play at a high level and get to championships. And I think to this point he's put in all the work. He's been a great teammate. We spent a lot of time, extra time together working, and we understand that we have to put that work in and preparation in order to get things done and have a chance. But I feel like we've got the pieces around him that if we all do our part, he will definitely do his.
Can you kind of give us a peek behind the curtain? Like, what is a film session like? So Miller comes in and you're showing him the maybe stuff you did last year with Tyler, or how does it work? And what's the level of detail? Like, is there any detail that's too small that you're like, he'll pick that up, or do you just not take it for granted? You're like, okay, we got to go over this. You have to have this specific kind of a drop back on this place.
Well, I think what we do is throughout the summer and late spring, we'll take an hour or so more, 4 or 5 times a week and get together. It's just me and him, and sometimes some of the other quarterbacks will come in, and we're going to watch film, and it's going to just be a wide variety of things. It's going to be him playing last year. It's going to be him in the spring. It's going to be Tyler Shuck playing the year before. It could be a clips from years back of Aiden O'Connell. We'll mix in some great quarterbacks in the professional level and great offenses. We'll mix in some other great college teams, and we'll basically just talk things through. We'll go through the game, and we'll go at a slow pace where we're talking in detail of what we're seeing, how would we call this, how would you see this, give me what you would do here, and just talking through every scenario that comes up. And sometimes, it's not exactly planned out, but you just go through every scenario that we haven't watched together, and we talk it through. And I think he just gains a great understanding of, how I feel and what I see, and we combine it to what he sees at the same time, and we just get on the same page. And he gets a good understanding of, what he may need to do to become a better quarterback. And I think they're very valuable. I just really think spending the quality time together to do those things is priceless, and I think it's going to help him and really all our quarterbacks in the past history play very well.
Is there anything you look for in those kind of sessions that maybe tip you off, like how he takes criticism or how he takes the information you gives him and then applies it? Like, is there anything that you can learn from those film sessions that might help you call a better play on 3rd and 13 in the season?
Well, believe it or not, I take notes myself during it, and he does as well. But really, it's a positive meeting. It's not anything other than going over different scenarios. We'll look at Patrick Mahomes and ask, okay, what do you think he did well there, and what did he not do as well? And you just kind of talk through those things. And what I really think when you see this, you're going to be able to have to give it a chance, but check the ball down a little bit sooner. You can't take a sack in this situation. Look how he stepped up in the pocket, found the lane, and made a move of throwing. And you just kind of talk through those things. And we've watched a lot of Jaden Daniels and how efficient he was, and like, hey, this is why he was doing that, and tell me what you would have done in this scenario. I think it's just talking through all those scenarios that, even on a checklist you can't cover until you see it. So the fact that we've watched so much together, we've really gone through a lot of scenarios, and he gets an understanding of what I would have done as a player, what I think that quarterback could have done better, what he sees as well, and I just think it's really beneficial.
The Jaden Daniels that you watched, was that him in college or him in the pros?
This was him for the Commanders this past year. He had a great year, a great rookie season. I think he outperformed everyone's expectations, even though we had high expectations. He was just so efficient throwing the ball. He was accurate. He didn't take sacks. He made plays. He had big wins along the way. Just really performed not like a rookie would. And why has he? Like, what is he doing to make him perform that well? And we'll go through all that, and we'll watch it. And we've watched numerous games of him. And I think, just gained a better understanding of why I think he's playing well and how he can utilize that to help his game play well.
We've heard already at ACC Media Day a few times the phrase quarterback whisperer thrown around in relation to you. How do you like having that title? How do you like, people referring to you that way?
Well, I mean, we do take the quarterback position seriously, so I want our quarterbacks to perform well. As a former quarterback, it's important to me, and I know that the offense has to kind of be built around your quarterback. And you can have a system, that's fine, but you got to have enough in your system that you can adjust certain things to really fit what that quarterback does well and gain a great understanding of what exactly that is. Some guys like to throw off the play action, throw it deep. Other guys like to get the ball in their hand quickly at all times. They don't like to hold it very long. They get jittery. So what are they comfortable with? Other guys can throw good on the move, so how can we move the pocket a little bit better? Other guys are really good at getting in the right run and being smart at the line of scrimmage and being able to adjust things more so than we're used to. So it's just gaining understanding, and if we can have that package ready to fit our quarterback and be good around them, our quarterback should play very well.
So obviously football isn't all offense. You got to worry about your defense. You got to worry about your special teams. Defensively, I kind of heard you allude to it upstairs, but you're still in the process of deciding with Ron English, the defensive coordinator, on whether he's going to be in the box or on the sidelines this year?
Well, more than likely be on the sideline. I thought that was an adjustment we made that was beneficial, with the new Coach Com system and trying to figure out the exact way that we want to do that, which I think we finally came to a conclusion to get that done. With his ability to kind of be around the players and kind of get a feel of how they're reacting to situations on the field and be more into the game and the atmosphere was beneficial. And I just think we can continue to improve. And he knows that. There's areas we got to improve upon. When we look at it, way too many big pass plays we gave up in the passing game that, we can be better than that. And there's ways to be better. And it's not just on the players. How can we really be conscious of defending the pass a little bit more and not always be consumed with stopping the run? We've been great against the run for the most part, but you got to have a perfect balance and you got to know when to do it, and you have to have answers when things happen. But I think that, for us, Coach English, he really came off the road the whole spring. He didn't go on the road for the most part. He stayed back watching film with me and our other coaches that were there. We dissected last season. We dissected other good defenses. We tried to kind of piece some things together, how we can be better. And it was very beneficial. So I anticipate Coach English and our defense doing a really good job this year.
Yeah, would you pinpoint, was that SMU game, was that the game that kind of made things change defensively, simplified things? Was that what produced the better defense the rest of the way?
Well, it was a big reason. We didn't perform well, and really communication was a bad thing going on in that game, whether it was communicating the call into the defense on time, whether it was having too many adjustments to certain formations that you just got to call defense and play it. There were certain things that communicationally by us as coaches and even by our players amongst themselves that we need to fix. And I think we fixed some of those along the way, but there's even ways to fix that even more and to make sure that, certain teams that are going at a good tempo, you've got to be really simple in your calls. Doesn't mean you can't do a lot of things, but it's got to be simple and precise, and they got to know exactly what to do, and there can't be a whole lot of moving parts. Same thing with Georgia Tech. All the motions and shifts and misdirection, you got to be really concise on what you're doing. Now, teams that huddle, then maybe you can be a little more creative in some of those things, but I think just simplifying that, but yet still having enough to be successful was something that we needed to do.
How both frustrating and how much do you take it as a compliment that you guys have tried to schedule some other Power 4 teams that just won't play Louisville at this point? What does that do for you as a coach trying to play the best teams you can play?
Well, in my opinion, that's what football is all about. As I look at all this scheduling talk nowadays, everybody wants to get the easiest schedule to get to the playoff. Well, I think the opposite. To me, college football should go to a format where all Power 4 teams play 11 Power 4 games. Doesn't matter who they are. a conference, non-conference, and then 2 or 3 of the others got to be Power 4 opponents. Then you can have one game where you have a group of 5 or whatever. But to me, that's what would make college football more like the NFL, more like every week matters. It's a competitive football game. Yeah, sure, you might lose a game or 2 or 3, but you know what? In the NFL, people like seeing great football every single week. So why should anyone want to go watch 4 opponents that certain teams play that have no chance of winning the game? And what good does that do for the game of football other than give you a good record and give you a chance to go to the playoffs, maybe a little bit more of an opportunity? I'm not a fan of that. I like football play where it's good teams against good teams. Players, coaches want to do that. Fans want to see really good football teams play each other.
I'll leave you out on this question. Are you a coach are you big listing your goals before the end of the season? Like when you huddle with the team, will it be ACC championship? Will it be college football playoff talk? Or is it much more dialed back to?
Well, I think we're together so much that we all know the ultimate goal, and that's to win at the highest level. For us, we're going to identify those specific things the first day of camp, talk about them briefly. They're exactly what you said: ACC championship, winning all your home games, getting to the playoff, ultimate goal, winning the national championship. All those things are identified. But once you kind of talk about it, everyone knows the common goal. And even though it's cliche, the way to do that is to prepare as hard as you can every day and to win one game at a time. And it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. Really, you're expected to win the next game. So you can't get too down, and you can't feel good about yourself when you win. All those things come into play. And you can't get down when you're losing a game by 20 points and you're feeling sorry for yourself. You got to be able to be tough, hang in there, and play hard to the end. So all those things are really talked about and communicated. We try to practice some of those scenarios if we can. But in the end, it's going to take strong-minded people that want to win and understand the importance of doing the small things. As you look at last year's national championship, that team lost 2 games. Ohio State, the most talented team, they lost 2 games. But you know what? They didn't let the Michigan loss really detour them from their ultimate goal. So, you're going to have some ups and downs. You got to be able to be strong enough mentally to withstand that. And everyone has to know going into it, this is what's going to happen. So don't freak out when something doesn't go your way. So we try to work hard at that.
I appreciate you visiting with me, and good luck on the season.
Okay, thank you.
And now I have joining the show Miller Moss, quarterback of the University of Louisville. First, just how does it to hear that sound, University of Louisville, for a Southern California kid?
Sounds great to me. In all honesty, I couldn't be more excited. Love, hearing the sound of Louisville. Now that I know how to say it right, it's not Louisville. Couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, the conference is going above and beyond to say this is a conference of quarterbacks this year. What do you feel like you can do to stand out from the bunch?
Yeah, I think it's cool, just the emphasis on the position coming from the conference. I think, that's a unique way to represent the conference, and, I hope, being one of those guys that we can do a good job at doing so. I think in terms of, separation, in terms of, like, as a quarterback, the ultimate quarterback stat is winning. So I think, us going out there and doing what we know we can do and winning games will be the most important thing for that.
How much do you have a chip on your shoulder? Like, how much does Miller Moss have to prove this year?
A tremendous amount.
And what kind of pressure do you put on yourself to deliver?
I don't look at it as pressure, I think, as much as just opportunity. I think this team, not just me, but this team has a very unique opportunity to accomplish some great things this year. And we have every ability to accomplish those goals. Now we have to go in every week and prepare really well and treat each opponent, like it's a one-game season. But, I'm hungry to see what this team can do this year.
Did last season leave a bad taste in your mouth? Like, is that part of it, part of you wanting to come back strong?
No, I think going in every year you want to have a good year. I don't think you ever go into a season unmotivated. If you do, you're probably in the wrong line of work. But I think when it comes to last season, I'm very grateful for the experiences that I did have. I got to play in some of the biggest, settings in college football. I got to play in some of the biggest games against some of the best players. And I'm super grateful for that experience and the person and player that it's made me and shaped me into. So I really try to draw on the positive and learn from the negative. And I think, if I'm able to do that, then I'll be successful.
And how much did you know about Coach Brohm Jeff Brohm and
Yeah.
Brian Brohm before you got here?
A decent amount, obviously. We played against one another in the Holiday Bowl. But I mean, I think their pedigree when it comes to quarterback play is pretty well known and respected. What they've been able to do over the course of years and years, I think is pretty phenomenal. And I think since being there in January, that pedigree or that I guess perception has only been affirmed in my experience.
What would it mean to you to add on? We already talk about what he did with Jack Plummer in year one, Tyler Shuck last year. What would it mean to say Miller Moss did great things at Louisville in 1 year?
I mean, I think it would be a tremendous honor. It's something that I work towards each and every day.
What's the toughest part of learning this offense for you?
I think just the pure volume. Like there's just quite frankly a ton of different things that we run, which is great because it presents challenges to defenses. But you absolutely have to be on your A game when it comes to being diligent and studying, and just really working and investing to gain mastery of the system.
What is more important, for you to be on the same page with receivers like Chris Bell, or for you to be on the same page with Brian Brohm and Jeff Brohm as play callers and offense coordinator?
That's a good question. I mean, I think the best way to answer that is it's best for us to all be on the same page. But if I had to choose one, I think it would probably be the receivers, just in that, like, we are the ones playing out there. But I think if one piece of that is off, then we're not going to be as successful as we should be. So, yeah, I mean, I think the best way to approach it is for us to all be on the same page.
How do you feel like that continuity is developing? I know it's without pads. It's not 11-11, but
I think it's grown, a tremendous amount since I've been there. Coach Brohm's investment in watching film with me and studying with me each and every day has been phenomenal. I really commend him for that, and I think it speaks to who he is as a head coach and how he values the development of his players and the relationship he has with his players. And then the receivers, in the same respect, have taken upon themselves. We watch film together after every workout. They come in on Saturdays and run routes after a full week of training. So no one's asking them to do that stuff. They've gone above and beyond to invest in themselves, invest in the team, and ultimately become the best version of ourselves offensively. So I give them a ton of credit.
Since you've been at Louisville, what would you guess the percentage of time you spent at the football complex as opposed to doing anything else anywhere else in the city?
80% probably.
And I'll leave you on this. I know you got a flight to catch.
No worries.
What are you looking forward to most in playing in the ACC?
I mean, I think it's always exciting to face new opponents, have actually, weirdly faced a lot of different opponents just with the Pac-12, disbanding. I know it's kind of come back, but playing the Pac-12, playing the Big Ten, I think, having the opportunity to face new opponents again this year is a really exciting opportunity.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Miller Moss, University of Louisville quarterback. Now I have joining the show Mr. Chris Bell, wide receiver, University of Louisville. Chris, thank you for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Growing up, when you were playing receiver, is there anybody you look to that you kind of pattern your game after, or at least, admired the way they went about being a receiver?
Tavon Austin. I know there's probably a lot of players out here that looked up to Tavon Austin. He made that his college highlight tape. It was a thing back then. That's why I looked up. That's why I modeled my game after.
You seem like way more physical than he was, though. He seemed more just kind of speed.
Yeah, see, that's when I was young. But now, as I done grown up and got bigger, I'm different now. So I model my game after A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Debo Samuel, people that, I'm compared to.
How does that, on the field, can you kind of take me, how does that give you an advantage? Because most receivers aren't built like you and can do some of those things physically that you can do.
It gives me an advantage because, not a lot of corners go against big body receivers, like receivers my size. They probably think I'm slow, and they probably think, I can't get off press and things like that until I use my physicality to get off press, and then I beat them downfield with my speed. So, yeah, it's a big advantage. That's my advantage.
So what was your kind of welcome to college moment where you were like, Okay, this is different from high school, but also where you're like, you know what, I can play at this level.
I want to say it wasn't no game. It actually was a summer. We was out conditioning. I said it earlier. I was finishing up my last strider, and I got past the finish line. It was hot out there, and like, I was tired. You know, you got to keep up with the older guys. Can't be in the back because they'll yell your name out. When I finished that last one, boy, I was gassed.
You
But
said Strider?
strider,
That's what you call it?
yeah.
What? How far are you running? Like, what
100
is that?
yards. 100 yards.
Oh,
Yeah. hmm
and you're doing that back to back?
Yeah, we have to.
And how many times is like
So
what counts as one?
So one 100-yard count is one, but we
Okay,
probably
good.
do them like 6 times or like it like adds on every week. So we'll do 6, then 8, then we just go on up from there.
What's the most you've done in one session?
Probably 12.
12.
Yeah, you'll
Wow.
never get too far. 12, but it's still a lot though.
Yeah. So, how much of a leadership role, do you feel like you've been through the program? You know, you stayed with it. How much of a leadership role do you feel like you have to take on this team this year?
I think I have to take a big role. You know, a lot of coaches, the strength coaches, the position coaches, they're looking at me, to be the leader because I've been here the longest. I'm more experienced. I'm in my senior year, and I've been trying to do that, take it day by day, and trying to be that, role model, that leader that they're looking for the team. I lead by example. Like my work ethic is my way of leading, but a lot of times they tell me I got to lead by mouth or about, vocally lead, and that's something I got to work on. But I'm getting better at it. So yeah.
What does it mean to be either the lead receiver or a lead receiver in a Jeff Brohm offense?
You said D lead receiver.
Yeah. And I don't mean necessarily in
Yeah.
yards or whatever, but I just mean a leader, like the one people are looking at.
It means a lot, and it also, holds a lot. You got a lot to look up to. A lot of people expecting a lot out of me this year. I got to look up to those, expectation of them standing that they're looking for because, last year, I was like the second receiver. Now I'm the receiver that they're, counting on to win games and, make plays for the, fans and for the team. So, yeah, it's a lot.
So as a receiver, do you have a particular? I don't want you to. You don't have to give it away, the actual name of it. But is there a particular play call that when you hear it, you light up? Like, yeah.
Probably Z home run. It's like a deep post, and it's a reverse. I ran there against Clemson where the slot receiver, he came and we kind of met up and he tossed me the ball and I like kind of reversed fields and took it about 50 yards. But Z home run definitely get me down the field.
Is that the kind of play that Coach Brown might
Yeah.
only call that one time a year?
No, he actually called it like probably 3 times
Okay.
in back to back. Like he probably called Z home run, then X home run, then W home run, just to like throw a shot down the field, throw it up.
Okay. Is there ever a time when you're in the huddle, like we're gonna run that? Like, you know what I mean? Like he calls something that you may not even be thinking of.
Yeah, nah, never. It's never a time. I just go out and just execute whatever he called and just try to make a play.
Yeah. So with this year's schedule, is there any game in particular that you're looking forward to, either for personal or team reasons?
I'm looking forward to Clemson, and I'm also looking forward to Kentucky. But I look forward to Kentucky every year because that's our rival.
Yeah. Why Clemson?
Uh-huh.
Why that Clemson?
They got a lot of hype around them, and they won ACC championship. I just want to show everybody that I can compete, with their players, and our team can compete with them.
You feel like people are sleeping on Louisville this season?
I'm not gonna lie, they always sleep on Louisville. This is nothing new, so we expect them to sleep on us, and then come season, we always prove them wrong. So it's nothing new about them sleeping on us. It is what it is. We always the underdog.
Is that something that you like being like? You like to kind of have that chip on your
Yeah,
shoulder?
I've been the underdog my whole life. So just to be an underdog on an underdog team, it just motivates me even more.
Now, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about your personal story coming from Yazoo City, Mississippi. And you said Jeremiah Cox is another player
Fletcher
that came
Cox.
from Fletcher, yes. So was he like the standard? Like you guys saw what he did, and you know, people your age and younger were all like, we can do that too.
We definitely looked up to him. I wouldn't say that he was like the standard, but we definitely like knew his name because how people used to just talk about him and just say like how he made it out and and how he used to give back to the community. Have his little football camps and stuff like that. And like as when we was young, when we was in the youth, like we used to go to those camps, so we knew who he was, but. I feel like after him, they kind of slept on Yezu, because they don't think we book smart, school smart, and stuff like this. So a lot of college coaches don't come down there, And lucky enough, I got a chance to put my name out there, spread my name, and then actually my senior year, I actually transferred, to make a better opportunity for me.
So take me through that.
Yeah, so I transferred my senior year. So the crazy thing is I played for a summer league 7-on-7 team, and it got my name out there. I got a few offers, but I was thinking I wanted to stay at Yezu, but at the same time I knew that wasn't the best decision for me due to like we're slept on. Like don't know college coaches come down there, stuff like that. So in order for me to put my name out there more, I feel like I had to make a transition, transfer and go to another school, and play on like a bigger platform.
Where was your 7-on-7 team based?
So it was based in Mississippi, but we was like going all over the world and playing. Like we went to Gallenberg, Tennessee. We'll go to Texas. We'll go to
So
just traveling.
Was it just basically like pulling from the best players they could pull in Mississippi?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one area, one city. Okay. And looking back on it, do you feel like had you not done that, would you be at Louisville right now?
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. Like God is the reason I'm in this position right now. I look back on it every chance I get, and it's just like crazy how my life, went from this to like this so fast, and I'm just blessed. Like, I'm thankful too. I never take that moment for granted.
How hard was it for you to transfer, like from a family perspective? Like, were you gone most of?
So it wasn't hard, for my family because, mind you, I grew up with my dad. I've been living with my dad my whole life, but at first my dad he didn't really want me to transfer, but as he saw me like getting my name out there and like just seeing like what I was doing something positive. He actually let me make the decision if I wanted to transfer, and like he let me transfer. I transferred, and I was barely going home. Like on the weekends, like I stay in the city that I went to school at, and just I be there a lot. So it wasn't really hard. My dad, he kind of like took his hand off me a little bit and just tried to let me make my own decision my senior year.
Yeah. Was there ever like doubt that crept in? Like, am I making the right decision? Is this really going to work out? Like, did you have to kind of battle that?
It wasn't doubt at all. I feel like the only thing that I was like more worried about is as a young player, just leaving your friends behind, and like they kind of expect me to play a big part in that on that team, and for me to leave them behind and just go and move on, better for myself. That's kind of the only thing I was worried about. I know I was, getting a better opportunity because I was playing the top teams in Mississippi, and I actually got to play against Travis Hunter and put my name out there. Yeah.
How did you do?
I did pretty good. I had 3 touchdowns, like 100-some yards.
Wait, on him the whole time, or was it like mixed?
I don't want to, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or nothing, but I had a pretty good game on the team, like the defense. I'm to the defense.
Okay. All right. Well, what would it mean to you? You mentioned the football camps that Cox sponsored back then. What would it mean to you to bring a Chris Bell camp, skills camp or something, football skills back to Wazoo, Mississippi?
It'll mean a lot to me, man. I know a lot of kids look up to me. It's been a lot of times my aunt and dad called and just tell me like everybody in the city like just talking about you, looking up to you. So for me to like bring a camp back to Year's Will, You know what I mean? Like, I know I get a lot of support too. You know, I plan on doing it at some point in my life, but yeah.
Well, there you have it. Chris Bell with the University of Louisville. Good luck on your season, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
That'll do it for another episode of the CL Brown Show. Please click on those follow buttons to subscribe to the podcast. I thank you for viewing this on YouTube. This is a new thing we're trying out this year. This is only our third episode on YouTube. So hopefully you'll get used to seeing me and you can stick with it. Please don't forget to leave a 5-star review. We're trying to get up in that algorithm to get the show out to more listeners and viewers. And lastly, if you want to check out my columns, go to Courier-Journal.com. Otherwise, sit back, relax, wait till a new episode drops on Wednesday. Thanks again for tuning in.